Is Neha with College Shortcuts. I hope you're having an incredible day. I wanted to go ahead and reach out and see if any of you guys had some questions. Now, I am testing out a new software here today, so I'm going to be seeing the comments probably pop up straight up. So go ahead and type in your questions below, because I know so many people have questions when it comes to the college admissions process. And I want to be doing these Facebook Lives where we can really have an interactive community to talk and really get a sense of where you're at. Now, I have a few questions that have already been given to me early on, and I wanted to tell you that it is totally normal to be stressed in the college admissions process. I mean, for a lot of parents right now, you guys are deeply in the process, and there's a lot going on in terms of the college process right now. I mean, let's face it, applications are now live for a lot of schools, so you're definitely looking into it. And I know there's just so much going on. So I wanted to check in here and see if you guys have any questions, because we all know how frustrating this can absolutely be. So I'm going to go ahead and type in questions live Q&A, so you can absolutely ask me any questions that you want. That's hard to read. Let's do it right there. Okay, so what I want you guys to know is there is so much information online when it comes to the college admissions process. I was actually in a Facebook thread recently, and it was just a question about essays and all the different types of essays and the suggestions around how to write the essay. And one of the people had written down, oh, just make sure to do spell check and grammar. And I felt like going on my soapbox, but I felt like, wow, I really should just kind of say, look, this is what I do if you need help with your essays and really want to help with it. Because that advice, yes, that is like some of the most basic advice. You'd say that to anybody in anything that they write to anybody, to do spell check and grammar. But nowhere did it talk about like what topics to avoid or what things to focus on. So I wanted to kind of touch base here today. I know we've got some viewers on right now. So go ahead and let me know where you're at, what questions you have. I'm going to be on for the next 15 minutes to just answer any questions you have around the college admissions process. Okay, I've got one parent on right now saying, look, my kid is in 9th grade. What are your thoughts about specifically test prep? Well, if your kid is finishing 9th grade and on to 10th grade, well, they're going to be taking the PSAT, and that's going to be in October. So many parents think it's really far away, but it's actually really close by in terms of, you know, the thought of 3 months away. So if you think about July, August, September, and boom, that is the next thing right there. So I know that is one of the biggest things that people forget about. They don't realize, oh my gosh, we have got to make sure that we get this handled. But that's okay. I mean, I understand it's kind of challenging, but you want to make sure that you are getting your kid prepped no matter what grade they're in. Because the college process, just so you know, is something that's happening all the time. And I hear from parents that say, you know what, I know that... Hi, Philip. Nice to see you. I see you're commenting. Thank you so much. It's so nice of you. So I feel like one of the biggest things is that so many people forget that the essay is, of course, an important part, but also when it comes to test prep, you have to look at that as well. The next question I got that I have here is, you know, Neha, I have a junior turning into a senior, and I'm really overwhelmed. What do you suggest is like the one thing we should do right now? So great question. I got this from a mom named Rachel. So Rachel, what I would tell you is one of the biggest things to know is coming up with a plan in action. And I think most people don't realize like why planning is so important, and it's really frustrating because you don't realize how important planning can be in the process. And I'm telling you as someone who, like, I have a planner that I use constantly. I mean, my life is color-coded and planned out, and I've set in all my appointments. You know, I don't know if this one has it, but right now I'm consulting with students on getting all of their applications done in a matter of a week or two. And so I just put them in my schedule and then ready to rock. And so I think one of the one things you need to do is schedule a meeting with your kid and just set it up and be like, all right, Saturday, 2 o'clock after lunch, let's start talking about the college stuff. What do you want to study? What are you interested in? And start to have these types of conversations, because if you're not talking, you are not getting the information you need, you're not communicating effectively, and that's a problem, because that would be what I would say the first thing I would do, which is get in conversation and learn where you are at in the process. So many people think, okay, well, we'll just get to it. We'll just start writing essays. Well, if you haven't even started, the first thing to start is a conversation about what schools you're looking at and what they're interested in studying, and really developing that out. And then the next step, of course, is to build out and figure out what the resume is and format it properly. And if you're looking for help with the resume, of course, we have Resume Shortcuts as a great course. And then, of course, essays as well. So that's how I would start first, is to have the conversations and to first build a list. And I talk about this in College Shortcuts, where I break it down into little pieces for parents and students to make this really easy, because we all know it's very overwhelming when you look at all of the pieces. I was talking with a teenager recently that I'm working with, and she's like, what are we doing for letter recommendation strategy? She was so stressed out, and I said, hey, don't worry about it. We're focusing on this section right now. I see that Dempsey is saying hi. Hi, Dempsey. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for the heart. I love hearts, guys. Hearts are awesome. So please go ahead and put little hearts out. I love those. Love, love, love those. So I wanted to have this open as a live Q&A, guys. I am right here, right now, ready to answer questions. Got questions? Please type them below so that we can answer them. I would love to answer your questions right now. So go ahead and type any questions. I'm sure you're loving these little cute little things I keep adding. I've been doing these filters. People really laugh at my filters when I do video filters, which is always kind of funny to me. All right. Okay, so go ahead and type in the comment box any questions you have so that I can answer them for you. Now, one of the things I also want to talk about here is it's July. And one of the biggest things parents are forgetting is that school is starting in about 6 to 7, no, not even, really I'd say about 6 weeks. And if you look at the calendar, we're already at, July 7th? So pretty much in 4 to 5 weeks, back to school is coming back in, etc. And one of the trends I've just seen over the last 12 years of walking into over 1,000 homes, working with thousands of teenagers, is one of the best ways to set your kid up for success is to start getting them a little tutoring, or to help them to get the information they need for those subjects a little earlier, instead of throwing them into school, which is what most families do. Oh my gosh, I love this. Hi, Eileen. Nice to see you. Eileen's asking, my son is about to be a junior. Should he already be studying for the SAT, ACT? Wonderful question. So this, just is a hot button question that I get asked a lot, because college counselors at schools will say things like, oh, you can think about it at the end in senior year. No. If you want to know my opinion and what really effectively works, is absolutely, Eileen. I've been sending out emails, and if you guys are not signed up for collegeshortcuts.com, we send the most up-to-date, in-trend, latest stuff going on in the education industry that you need to know about. So go ahead and sign up. I'm talking about test prep right now because it's so important. Now, yes, your kid definitely needs to be studying for the SAT or ACT. And here's why. If you've got a junior, in October, they can qualify for national merit in the PSAT round. If your junior hasn't been prepped for that test or hasn't been studying, then, they don't really qualify most of the time. I'd say about 95% of the time, most students are prepped or have studied for the PSAT to qualify. In the meantime, they could also be doing SAT prep and take the SAT in November or December, and then also keep taking it in spring as well. I always recommend at least 3 tries. 1, 2, 3. 3. And you don't get 3 if your kid is just doing it at the end of junior year. So, Eileen, absolutely. Second question, lenders who offer loans to those who less than desirable credit. So, Anne, your question falls outside of the realm of what I do. I am not one of those people that likes to just speak on a bunch of topics or really, really broad. I'm more about making sure that I am an expert at what I do. And so I am not a financial advisor. I do not do college advising in terms of financial planning. So I would highly recommend, Anne, that you talk with a financial planner or an accountant about where you stand and what makes the most sense. Because I just know my focus is specifically the admissions process. And from what I've noticed is that you guys could literally learn from your financial teams about what needs to happen from a financial perspective. Where I will say I overlap a little is that 98% of people that work with me, either through College Shortcuts, the courses, or through my book, The 4-Year Plan, or with consulting one-on-one with me, they typically make the money back in merit-based scholarships. So, for example, let's say I work with a student one-on-one and we're doing consulting together. Usually my consulting fee pays for itself because they get scholarships based on the essays and resume that we work on. It happens every single time. So I can't give you information specifically around lenders and loans, but what I can tell you in the admissions process is that if you have an incredibly compelling application, they absolutely will throw money at your kid because you're such a desirable candidate. And that's where I come in. That's where I'm the secret weapon and the what I call the dirty little secret for a lot of parents that don't share about me, when they're working with me, because they know that I'm absolutely helping their kid. So I do recommend you do share, because sharing is caring, guys. Yes. Okay. Any more questions? I'm going to stay on for 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Does anyone have any more questions? I love these little chat messages from you guys. I wanted to try this out, schedule out a call with you guys. And I'll be doing these more often so we can answer the questions that you have, so that we can absolutely help you in the college admissions process as we are already now deeply in it. Pretty much within the next 30 days, all applications open. Ooh, I like this one. Hi, Raisa. Oh my God, what a beautiful photo. I love the filters you use. I used that one last night with my niece. Do you have scholarships for international students? Wonderful question. Scholarships are fascinating to me, right? Because one of the big things people don't realize is that scholarships can be given either financial-based or merit-based. There's a difference. Financial-based has to deal with your FAFSA form, what you can afford to pay, your estimated family contribution, etc. Merit-based has to deal with how amazing the application is, and regardless of financial situation, that they would love to have you there, and because you wrote such good essays and resume, they want to throw scholarships at you. So they have scholarships for both, just so you know, international and national students, and they have merit-based and FAFSA and all that sort of stuff as well. So you've got to take a look at where you guys stand, where I can speak to, ooh, oh my gosh, you guys are already calling me. I'm going to have to hang up that call right now. Okay, so popular. My phones are always ringing off the hook. All right, we'll call that person back. Now, all right, so yes, there are scholarships definitely available for all types of students, because honestly, if you think about it, we want our kids to get educated. We want them to get the help they need. That's why we all exist, to really make sure that our leaders of tomorrow are taken care of. It's why I do what I do every day. Well, guys, I'm so excited to have you guys on. I just wanted to do a quick chat, reach out to you guys. Hopefully you guys are signed up to get notifications. So if you're watching this and you see the get notifications, click get notifications, because I'm going to be sharing some incredible secrets over the next few months where I really give you the tools and tricks of helping your kid get in. I've been talking to parents nonstop over the last few weeks to really make sure that we're solidifying their plans of helping to get their kids in. So I'm really excited about that. Now I want to thank you guys so much for being on. Feel free to ask more questions, and we will be definitely checking the comments. Thank you so much. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye.